Yesterday, we could not conduct this program because we were hearing the verdict happening at International Crimes Tribunal 1. What happened was they read out a 450-page verdict which said that last July, in 2024 July, the leader, Sheikh Hasina, had instructed her men and her party followers to incite violence amongst the people, especially the children who stood up to this outrageous event. It had made sure that the country go into a curfew. People would not be able to leave their homes. The numerous deaths that piled up every single day. The killing of someone known as Abu Said, who stood up to all of these heinous acts. In my opinion, it is definitely and will be recorded as a genocide. My question to Advocate Mohsin Rashid, what is your take? You're a senior jurist for the country. I want to understand how you felt about it.
Well, a judgment is a judgment. They have evaluated the evidence, whatever they had. But then the point is different. Point is this tribunal a proper tribunal for this trial? You see, this was created in 1973. Just before its creation, there was another tribunal, which was the Collaborators Act. Under that, there was a tribunal. Now, this tribunal was created on the basis of the Nuremberg tribunals that they had, which they call the Army Tribunal or something. Those days, you did not have the ICC, the International Criminal Court. Now, in the Nuremberg trial, they gave death penalty to 12 persons in that trial. But here the case is different, because this, I would say, is a law which was enacted for a particular purpose under particular circumstances. So there was a scheme for it. There's a spirit in that law. Now, for my understanding, that law became archaic because that situation, that context did not exist. Now, what Sheikh Hasina did was, she used this law for judicial murders of leaders of a specific political party and Salahuddin Qadir. Now, these were nothing short of judicial murders, because the trial was manipulated at all levels, whether it's investigation level or any level for that matter. So this was used. Now let me tell you, the prosecutor, chief prosecutor, was on the defense side in this ICT when the Jamaat leaders were convicted, sentenced and hanged. So my take is that this tribunal should have gone off the statute books, and for this July, a new tribunal, because this is a tribunal, you see, which has committed judicial murders. So this should not have been there, and this should have been repealed, this act, and a new tribunal could have been created for violation of similar things like genocide or murders or whatever.
Crimes against humanity is one of those.
Oh, yeah. So that would have been a better thing. You see, what is happening is, as you are aware, Norman may be more aware of it, that recently the American president has used two archaic laws. One is the Alien Enemy Act of 1798, and the other is Insurrection Act of 1807. You see, all these laws had a context to it. You don't frame laws just for fun's sake, there's a context to every law that you enact. Now here, this should not have been done, number one. Number two, you see, ICC came into being in 1998, when you had the Rome Statute. The reason that it's being criticized by the UN Human Rights Commission and others, because you see, she has been tried in absentia, and under the present jurisprudence, which involves genocide and other things, the accused must be present in court. ICC never tries anybody in absentia.
Yes.
Never. So they should have learned from this. Now I would say that this conviction, since she cannot file an appeal, this conviction or sentence will remain on paper and will not go further. There are many reasons for it. So let's see how they plan it. But Sheikh Hasina is not going to be given by India under no circumstances. I had somebody said they'll ask the Interpol. Well, Interpol has a different mechanism. They work in their modus operandi is different.
Yes.
So they will not involve themselves in this. Because before the red corner notice is served, they have a commission, an internal commission,
Yes.
which investigates. It's only then that this proceeds. So I think it's just a judgment which will remain on paper, but there will be no sentence, will not be carried out.
We know how you were talking about the verdict yesterday, but I want to bring the macroeconomic factors into the questioning at this moment. Ever since August 5th, our neighbor has seen otherwise and has conducted in such a way that it has been seen as another conflict pattern between India and Bangladesh. I must say that there were certain elements in the past 1.5 years where we've seen border push-ins from India into Bangladesh. Residents of Assam who were born in Assam, raised in Assam, people of Assam who have been pushed into Bangladesh by the border security forces of India. And not only so, there have been huge trade barriers between India and Bangladesh, given that their puppet or ex-ousted prime minister was ousted by a popular ousting in the country. I want to understand the geopolitical stances. My question to you would be, how do you think the future days will affect Bangladesh's political hemisphere and the geopolitics of this region, given the verdict of yesterday?
Well, if there is no change in government, I am afraid about the sovereignty and independence of Bangladesh. Now, why I say this? I say this because the recent bomb blast in Delhi is being connected to Bangladesh. And they have given names of a meeting that took place, which was presided over by, said to be presided over by our Home Secretary, in which they had Hizbul Tahrir and LET representatives and others before this bomb attack took place. So days in future are not good. We must start a dialogue with India if we want to resolve our issues. Well, people will say that you are a dalal, which they keep on saying. So let them say so. But for me, the country is more important than me being a dalal. You see?
Right.
So for this, we must show maturity. And Mr. Yunus has created most of the problems. The day he came here, he spoke of the 7 sisters. There was no reason, no rhyme or reason to say so when he spoke on that day. So they said that, okay, fine, it's a 20-kilometer thing, we'll extend it to 200 kilometers, the chicken neck, which means you lose Rangpur and other places.
Cut through the throat of Bangladesh.
Yeah, expand it.
Of course.
You see, then again, a few days back, he opened his mouth, which prompted Rajnath Singh, their defense minister, to say that, please talk properly, understand what you are saying. And then what they have done is, they have surrounded you, they've got 3 garrisons very close to your borders. These are new garrisons which they've set up. One is extremely close to Lal Monir Hat, very, very close. They have also brought in to the Lal Monirhat, they have they have an Air Force base
Yes.
close to Lal Monirhat.
Correct.
And they have brought in their Rafales and other high value assets close to it. So why are we saying these things? There is just no necessity. And you know that you, with your 1,60,000 armed forces or whatever, you are nowhere near India's fighting forces and the technology that they have. So I see very bad days if we do not shut our mouths and we don't have a new government which can seriously take up the issues with India, sit down with them and try to resolve this. We are a tiny dot in the Indian subcontinent.
Correct.
We are not Pakistan, capable of taking on India. We do not have that support of the Chinese to take on India. You know,
Right.
we must be very careful in what we say. Now, having said this, about this trial, there's another dimension to it. You see, apart from what the international agencies are talking of, due course and other things was not, then she was tried in absentia. Her lawyers did not perform well because she had no lawyers, you know. Having said this, if the ICT, I don't support ICT. There's another reason why I don't support it. Because the two High Court judges who sit on this ICT 1, they did not assume the office of the High Court division or the Supreme Court. They were posted here after being sworn in. The convention has been that to be a judge, you must assume office.
Of course.
So you see, when Trump takes oath or any American president takes oath, they immediately rush off to White House and get back, start signing a paper or two or whatever. They assume their office. Everyone does that. These two judges did not, there are three judges. One came from the district courts. These two judges never assumed office of the High Court. Never. So I would say that they were acting in excess of their jurisdiction. They even did not have the jurisdiction. Number 3, we have technology. If you were serious enough, you could have used technology to get Sheikh Hasina to be present in court.
Of course.
From Delhi. She could have been taken to the High Commission or even wherever she is, connected technologically. She could have her lawyers there who could have cross-examined. What is the problem? It is possible. We do have virtual hearings.
Yes.
So, you know, these are the flaws which they will capitalize. And why not? Why shouldn't they? Because the entire international community is saying there was no due process because she was not present. She was tried in absentia. And now the world says you must be present. No person is tried in ICC now. You see, this is post-ICC trial. This
Yes.
one and the killing of the Jamaat leaders by this ICT one. You see, so these things could have been done if you were sincere enough to see whether she is guilty or not. You should have connected her virtually.
Of
No
course,
problem.
acceptance is a big issue, and I understand that a narrative coming out of India, especially post this verdict, is that there remains in the best interest of the people. This is the statement given by the Ministry of External Affairs in India. Knowing that, I feel that they are being sarcastic regarding their comment. And of course, I want to bring out a news article that had said that the BSF of India had taken over 60-kilometer patch of land of Bangladesh, whereas that has been completely a hoax. As the border guard Bangladesh had said, no such element had taken us by so. My question to Advocate Mohsin Rashid, you know, the 13th national election is coming up. The same day the referendum shall be held, as according to the chief advisor. I want to understand what kind of political scenario you shall see before this election comes in.
Chaos. Situation will be even worse. And, even now, even today, you do not have stability in the country.
Correct.
The law and order situation is very bad. You cannot have elections in this kind of a
Environment.
situation or environment. So I'm still not seeing elections. As of now, I'm still not seeing elections, and chaos will multiply, because recently I saw this morning in a statement the home advisor, he has said that there are 16 judges appointed by the former regime. They are giving bails to everybody. Those who are being arrested, they are being bailed out. How do you expect the courts to function? How do you expect the courts to function? Giving bail is their function. It is not the function of the stupid general who sits there. He has no idea what he talks about. Bail is a right. You are picking people up from the streets. I don't know. He belongs to Army League, BNP, whatever. But whoever goes to the courts and seeks bail, he should be given bail. Why I say bail is a right? Because even the OC of a police station has got the right to give bails on a bond, only in all cases, except where the penalty is death or life imprisonment. He is the person who gives bail. Court is a much higher stuff. What is this general, whatever his name is, he is talking? He's gone nuts, absolutely. You don't talk like this about the courts. So this means that he is committing a contempt of court, knowingly or unknowingly. He should be given a rule for contempt, and he should be made to answer this. So if you say this, no judge will give you bail. No judge will give you bail. You keep on putting people in jails, overcrowded jails that we have. We cannot do this. That is also human rights violation by this stupid advisor who says this. So you see, we are in a very complex situation. The government doesn't know what it's talking about. Every ministry has got 2, 3, 4 people. The minister cannot work in many cases. So we must be very careful in what we say. We cannot talk like a man on the street. When I'm talking something, I'm saying this with some kind of an authority. I'm not talking like a panwala or a chaiwala. You see, so you have to understand these things. If you don't understand these things, it's a problem. So just as you heard about Rajnath Singh cautioning the chief advisor, I am now cautioning the home advisor not to bring the courts into disrepute. Otherwise, the entire process will collapse.